you value these conversations, subscribe and leave a review. It helps more than you think. You can also visit jeansland.co and sign up for our bi-weekly newsletter. It gives you access to our full archive, along with the development shifts and stories shaping the denim supply chain in real time. Follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram to stay connected between episodes. It's a great pleasure for me to have the chance to talk to Alice Tonello. Alice's company, or her family company, is like a superstar in the denim industry. And really, if you talk about serious companies that have impact on the jeans industry, Tonello is one of the most important. And so for those of you that don't know Tonello, this is a great chance for you to hear about the company and to meet Alice. You're the second generation, right?
Yes, exactly. The second generation.
And your father started the company, what, in 1974? 75?
My uncle started the company, yes, in the 1981.
In 81?
Yeah.
And what was the reason he started the company? What was the idea?
Yes, so as I told you, was officially founded in the 1981, thanks to my uncle Osvaldo, who saw the need to create a machine specifically for washing jeans. So in the late of 70, he worked as a maintenance technician at a nearby dyeing facility. He noted that some local brands were visiting the dyeing house to figure out how to wash a pair of jeans, which until then was mostly sold raw. So, starting from scratch, he began developing the first washing machine, beginning a long journey of experimentation and research. With some lucky connection, we gradually started to exporting following the changing in the global textile market.
So let me ask you this. I know the story that jeans were always sold raw, and there was a brand new industry that was created. Some people take credit for the first wash jean. I know that I think Edwin thinks they washed the first jean. I know that Fred Siegel, the rumor is that Fred Siegel was the first one to wash jeans.
Yes.
So whatever, there was no industry whatsoever for washing, and then suddenly there was an industry. And did you have a lot of competition when you started to make the washing machines?
On that time, not really, because there was only dyeing machine. So we were one of the first.
And you used stones in those days, or that was the next step?
The stone wash machine, are you speaking about?
Yeah.
Yes. So there was some other small companies in Italy, and my uncle started to try how to figure out how to wash a pair of jeans. And of course, we find a way of using pumice stone to create the authentic stone wash look. And then longer research.
What did your uncle do before he made the machines?
Maintenance technician inside the dyeing house and the laundries.
So he was a worker.
Yes, absolutely. The right person in the right place with a great ideas and also a little bit brave.
There are so many stories, and this is for the listeners, so many stories that I hear over the years of people who started great businesses and they were originally factory workers.
Yes,
So this
from
is another
scratch,
case of that.
Andrew. Exactly.
That's a beautiful story.
Mm.
And how did you get in the business, and what brought you to the business?
Yeah, so I would like to say just a couple of things for who don't know about Tonello. So we produce a machine for garment treatment for finishing garment. So we have all the range for the dry process, laser and ozone, wet process, washing and dye machine, and also the dyeing solution. And I want to say that all our machines are proudly made in Italy. I joined the company 20 years ago, but my connection with it started much earlier. As a teenager, I spent my summer between the assembling department and the warehouse and the R&D lab, growing up inside the company. And today, Andrew, I'm here. I'm focused more on brand strategy, working closely with the R&D lab and managing also the communication of the company.
When did you start with laser and ozone, and how did that occur?
The history of laser technology began many years ago, Andrew. In early 90s, during a trip in Las Vegas, we met some Kodak engineer and who spoke about the possibility of using laser to recreate the stone wash effect. It sounds feasible in theory, but in practice, it was never truly achieved on that time. So, when we first introduced our laser technology in the market, it was in the 1995. It was mainly used for localized effects such as whiskers, abrasion, and some very basic graphics. The technology was truly a revolution, but the software was a little bit basic, and the results were sometimes not really natural. And many brands, especially the Italian one, prefer manual abrasion. But over the year, however, the technology has evolved a lot, and we work not only in improve performance, but also enhancing the authenticity of the effect. Today, laser has become an essential step on the denim finishing and make it possible to create effect that would be impossible to achieve manually, such as complex graphics, and also now the whiskers and abrasion are super, super natural.
There was a company that said that they invented laser first, right?
Yes, correct.
I remember. So the first time I saw a laser, I was at the Gap and somebody brought this really simple thing done by laser and said, look what you could do with laser on a jean. And it was really super ugly. And being the genius that I am, I said, that sucks. It's never going to work.
Yes, I still have some garment done with that laser, and I was spending my summer inside the R&D department, so I remember well the effect. It was ugly, absolutely.
And then ozone, what's the story with ozone?
Regarding Ozone, we launched our first technology in 2010 as ozone in gas form, apply on dry or wet garment. Later, we integrated it with the ozone injecting directly in the washing bath. From the beginning, we understood it as a part of integrated process within the washing machine, with the goal of reducing water consumption as much as possible and discharging, let's say, a pre-treated, decolorized water. By the way, for me, the real innovation in ozone came in 2019 with O-Bleach. So it's a superficial ozone application. So we control the humidity in the superficie of the garment. And it's possible to achieve a real bleach effect, very natural, using ozone without chlorine and potassium permanganate, and of course, in the way that is safe for the operator.
Today, your demand for the machines, laser and ozone, the reason that people want to buy it, is it for efficiency or more for sustainability?
Both. I would like both. There is, of course, branding are pushing for sustainability, but the factory are looking for efficiency and how to have higher reproducibility. So the reason are both.
In how many countries do you sell in?
Many countries. So today we have more than 10,500 machines, but for sure we have a certain country where we are more present, like for example South Asia, Bangladesh, Pakistan.
the big jean places.
Of course.
Yeah. How much water using laser, using ozone, how much water can be saved on a garment? Do you have any idea?
Yeah. So, of course, using laser and ozone. But first of all, let me say that the laser mainly replace manual scraping because which traditionally doesn't require water. The real advantage of laser is precision and consistency, Andrew. The biggest water saving come from the wet process. That's why we create an all-in-one system which combine all the latest technology in one washing machine. And let me to underline that is exactly the combination of the latest responsible technology like nebulization, like all the alternative to foamy stone. For example, we have no stone plate, ozone, and also some technology to reduce the liquoration. Liquoration is the quantity of water per kilo that you need. So is the combination. Traditionally, well, we can say that we use from 100 to 200 liters of water, but with the new laundry approach, we can arrive to 20 liters of water, realistically.
So your machines cut down the use of the water. What does it do for labor? A lot of people lose their jobs in the industry.
Not really. But if we are thinking about laser, first of all, the hand sanding, the laser is replacing hand sanding,
Right,
Andrew.
right, right. There used to be all these people in the factories sanding away like crazy. Now they're all gone, right?
Exactly. So that is not really a healthy job for workers, Andrew.
Awful.
So in most cases, these workers are relocated, for example, to the stitching or sewing area. In some situations, workers who previously did hand sanding can become a laser machine operator.
How big is the market for you? I mean, I'm talking about two different ways of looking at this. One is what you have, and one is what you can have. How much opportunity is there still in this business?
This is a good question. Speaking about garments, so denim and garment dyeing, I believe we are covering quite well. For sure, there is a margin on improvement, for sure. But there are some other market that they are using our machine, for example, like carpet or home textile, for example, Andrew. So there is always margin on improvement.
But I guess where I'm going with this is if there's 3 billion jeans made
Mhm.
today, how many use machines like laser and ozone, and how many don't? You think it's 50%, 30% of the market is mechanized? What do you think?
I think that laser is covering, let's say, 50%.
So there's room for 50% more sales
Yes,
just on changing people's behavior.
yes. And ozone is covering at the moment only 30%, in my opinion.
So there's a lot of opportunity.
Yes, I think so. But I want to really explain this. Laser and ozone are not the only technology that can make the difference inside the laundry.
Tell me.
The wet process is the most important part. So working on the recipe, using other kind of technology like replace the stone wash, super important. Using system to reduce the liquoration. Use nebulization instead of to apply chemical on the bath. This combination is going to make the real difference. Ozone, great, because you use for bleaching, for example, so you can replace some hazardous chemicals. But is the combination that can really give you the greater result.
All right. And you said at the beginning that all your machines are made in Italy.
Yes.
Good. You're very proud of that. Well, I have the obvious question. How about the components?
So the components are the 80% mainly from Italy and Europe.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I want to say that more than 80% of our products and spare parts are designed and manufactured within a supply chain mainly based in Italy and Europe. This, Andrew, for us is very important because help to maintain high quality control and close collaboration with our um, specific with our supplier.
Yeah, of course. And I have to ask you about competition. I know you have competition from some places. So where is your competition? Is it mostly from other places in Europe, or is it from Turkey, or is it from Asia? What does the future look like for competition?
This is a good question. So we have competitors, of course.
Yes.
But Andrew, for specific technologies, including some company, for example, in Asia, but many of them are smaller and less structured. In some cases, they tend to replicate existing solution, sometimes even in terms of machine design, just to give you an idea.
They copy you.
Uh,
They copy you.
yes,
Sure.
but as in life, Andrew, I believe that you have to decide if you want to be a follower or a trendsetter. And we decided to be a trendsetter.
So your business is to create new technologies all the time.
Yes, we invested a lot on research.
And it's constant, right? It's ongoing all the time.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we have also an R&D department where we study with the washing and dyeing expert, with the laser designer, with some great consultant, the process. We work closely with Piero Turk, with Massimo that worked so many years in Martelli. And Andrew, our mission is not to mainly produce only machine, but to give a real solution that can create a great garment, thinking about people that are using our machine, thinking about the people that are going to wear the product that our machine is going to produce.
And also the people that work in your factory.
Of course, of course.
So when you say made in Italy, you're concerned also about the people that you employ, your stakeholders.
Thinking about the people that are producing our machine. Yes,
And as a private company, profit might not be the only reason you do things.
yes, exactly.
That's one of the subjects that I keep going back on this podcast is the difference between privately owned companies and what they can do and companies that are owned by hedge funds or private equity who are bound by profit.
It's a two different approach completely.
Totally different approaches. Does made in Italy help you when you sell?
Hmm.
Or no, is that a problem?
I think this is a good question, but for me, Andrew, has a strong brand value, especially in industry connected with the fashion and design. But for us, it's also a technical choice. Few days ago, Andrew, I was listening an interview with Alberto Candiani, and I'm gonna read it. He answered to this question: when does a true Italian excellence still manifest itself? And he said, when you have a strong creative aspect that can marry the engineering side. Made in Italy finds its excellence when these two aspects combine and you achieve something that others don't know how to do. I love it. I know that I'm in the same page of Alberto. So I think it helps. It's a certain value, but for us, it's also a need and a choice. because being closer to our engineering and testing teams allows us to develop and refine our technology much more efficiently without losing creativity and beauty, Andrew.
Right, because a lot of companies, they go to other countries and just reproduce the same thing somewhere else.
Yes, but I believe that you lose your soul.
You lose something for sure. You win money, but money shouldn't be the only reason that you exist.
Absolutely.
This episode of the Jeansland podcast is brought to you by Inside Denim, the global resource for everything denim. From sustainability insights to fabric innovation and brand stories shaping the future of the jeans industry. Inside Denim keeps you informed and inspired. So stay ahead of what's next in denim at InsideDenim.com. Okay, a question that maybe you're not expecting. Do you travel for the business and sell?
Are you speaking about me?
Yes, you.
A lot. I travel.
A lot.
Yes, I travel a lot
And
because
how is that? Because you have kids. What is that like?
I travel a lot. I love to travel because I think it's an opportunity to see other culture, to meet other people. In the end, to see that we have all the same problem to solve. And so I travel a lot, especially in Asia, and I feel lucky for it. It's not easy to manage for my kids. I have two daughters, but I'm trying also to tell them that this can be an important opportunity in your life if you can do it.
And you don't go to like Paris or I don't know, Budapest. You go to like Pakistan and you go to Bangladesh. You don't really go to like Rio or somewhere like that. Your trips are not so easy.
Yes, are not so easy, but are super interesting, much more than Paris. Paris, I can go for a weekend, but
Yes. And as a woman, how is selling for as a woman? How is that? Is it a problem or is it easy or not even worth mentioning?
I have to be honest. It's not a problem, but maybe because I'm part of the company and I don't know. I have some other colleagues that are traveling, but for example, in Central and South America. It never be a problem for me, Andrew, to be honest.
Nice. I remember when we were trying to do a show in Bangladesh, we were about to do the show. And then Vivian called me from Bangladesh and she said, "You have to come here. They want to talk to you."
I
So I was like,
remember.
okay, I'll go. And we
But
did.
it was, in the end, Andrew, it was an incredible opportunity because otherwise you are not going there for holidays, right?
I love traveling and
Me
I
too.
always loved meeting people and I always like meeting them in their own circumstance. And I get very, very, in our company, I always got really annoyed when people didn't travel and said, oh, especially with Zoom, they're like, oh, I can do it by Zoom. You can't do anything by Zoom. You can have just rational conversations, but life is emotional.
I agree. If you're not traveling, you are missing something.
You're always missing something. And I always learned so much when I traveled. And I discovered whether it was business related or personal, there was always something which really changed me.
And
And
also, Andrew, by the way, life is I, business. I want to say business is about people. So also when you in your job, there is nothing better than meet the people and build a relation. Otherwise, you can sell machines and you can sell, I don't know, furniture. But if you don't understand them, if you don't see their what they are doing, the environment where they are working, you will never give a real solution to them, in my opinion.
I agree. Okay, let's talk about intellectual property.
Hmm. Okay.
So in fashion, one of the things that I always hate in our industry and have hated, but it's a non-solvable problem. If you write a book and somebody copies your book, you can sue them. If you make a movie and somebody copies your movie, everybody knows and you can eventually sue them. Many, many pieces of music were copied by different people and people were sued. But if you create a new, for instance, in our business, if you create a new style, somebody copies it before you can even sell it.
Yes, can happen.
And no, there's no penalty. There's no problem. So for me, any of the creations I had in my career, they were great, but they were really limited in time because they were copied. How is it in machinery? Can you get intellectual property and own it or not?
Yes, but in the end, also is not so easy. Also in our market or for the machinery, the intellectual property is very important for Tonello because innovation has always been central to our work. Developing a new technology require a lot of time and investment and knowledge and people. So protecting them help ensure innovation can continue. But Andrew, by the way, we have many patents, but sometimes we see some copy and it's not so easy to manage after that.
But in Italy, you could manage it.
In Italy, it's easy.
Easy.
The problem is that the country that are copying us are not Italian.
Right. Or European.
Exactly.
What about Turkey?
Turkey also sometimes, and
They
is the
copyright.
same. Yes.
And how much of software is your business? I mean, your machines have to run on software. So in the end, you're a software provider as well as a machinery provider.
So I think that the software is really important today, is becoming more and more important. But Andrew, the hardware provides reliability and performance, while the software allows the operator to control the process, let's say create effect, and reproduce them with a consistency. Our expertise, Andrew, remain designing and producing machine. However, software has becomes a fundamental part of our machine, and let's say how the customer interact with our machine and manage the finishing.
Can the designers design their own wash on your software?
Designer can let me clarify this part.
Please.
We have different software. All the software of our machine are producing internally from our IT team. So we have the software of the washing machine, the software of the laser. We have Metro that is a software where we can measure the consumption of our machine, and we can have in real time data from the machine of water consumption and energy. To your question, how the designer can, I don't know, can create a washing. So by laser, what we suggest to use some software available already in the market that the designer are using, like a Photoshop. By Photoshop, you can create the laser design, and
Yep.
then when you are using our machine, there are so many different tools where you can modify your software, and you can see also the initial result before marking, for example. At the moment, there is something in the market also to reproduce the washing look, but I think is not so natural, 100% natural, has to see, of course, a sample.
You must have an incredible library of washes.
Yes, we have, absolutely. But I tell you one thing, all our machine arrive with a different recipe where you can start to wash immediately.
So they have in the history a whole bunch of examples of great washes.
Yes. So you can immediately start with to do enzyme wash, and after that, I don't know, you can continue with ozone bleach, for example. So you find already some recipe, but Andrew, you need always, in my opinion, a combination of great technology and also knowledge,
Imagination.
imagination, but knowledge from the knows how to do it.
Okay, and then we go another direction. And when your uncle started, he was selling mostly probably to garment factories or to other laundries. Who is the customer today? Is it a big garment factory or is it a laundry? Is it a small laundry? Is it a big laundry? Are there small laundries left? What does the industry landscape look on the industrial side around the world?
So we have mm, a large range of customer.
For sure.
Super big that are producing a huge quantity of garment. So I'm speaking about some specific countries. But we have also some small customer like laundries in Italy that are producing for luxury. And in some cases also we sell to some brands that decided to have their internal lab to do the development.
All right. You go to a lot of shows. I know you do because you went to Kingpins.
Yes.
What do shows do for you?
The show for us, for example, like in Pinks, is important because even if there are no visitors, all the other exhibitors are our customers. So it's easy to meet all our client, and it's good to get in touch. The most important exhibition in terms of technology is ITMA, that is going to be every 4 years.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, ITMA is an International Textile Machinery Show. There's two every 2 years. There's the Shanghai one and there's one in Europe. That's what
Exactly.
Lychee is referring to.
And next year it will be in Germany,
Where?
in Hanover,
Well, I went to those shows many times.
because in ITMA you can really find innovation, and the customer are looking for a new solution.
So Transformers is doing a report, and we call it the race to the bottom. It's not out yet. It will be out. It's probably going to have a different name. But the spirit of the report is that things are not going up in price, and that the price of a jean compared to, in this, I think in their report, they refer to the hamburger. The hamburger since 1980 went from 79 cents to $5, and a jean went from 10 to 15 or 18 or $20. It's not really the same. A Prada bag went from $150 to $1,500. And again, the jean went up maybe double maximum. So what does that do to you in your business? Do you struggle with the fact that the prices keep going kind of like are trying to be pushed down all the time?
Yes, unfortunately, Andrew.
What is,
It
and how do you go around solving that problem?
So depends on the market, because there are a certain market, the luxury one, for example, that the margin are different.
Right, right, right.
But in a country where they are producing with very, very slow margin, uh, also for us is a problem because they, of course, as a producer, they try to reduce as much as possible the cost of the machine that they need to produce a pair of jeans. And
So you're being pushed on prices harder than before?
yes, it was always like that, but I would like to say in the latest 2 3 years, it is going down.
Mhm. How do you see the future of the jeans business? First of all, that question has a number of segments to it. The first segment is, at Tonello, when you look at the market, are people going to continue to buy jeans at the rate they are globally? Is it going to grow? Or is this it? That's the first question.
I always try to to think about. I see my daughter. No, when I was a teenager, I had probably, I don't know, 3 pair of diesel jeans because it was the most famous here in the area. But probably 3. My daughter today has 20.
20.
So yeah, also because Andrew, for me, is quite
Yeah, I
easy, not.
understand. She's got an advantage. She's got a good connection to the business. But that means they wear them.
Absolutely, yes, they wear them. So it's going to increase. Probably yes, but what I hope is that we are going to increase also the value of a pair of jeans. So
What do you mean by that?
everything. So the value of the product itself, Andrew, instead of to buy for $29 and have 20 pair of jeans, we should have probably 5, but with a certain value.
But is that going to happen, or is that just a dream?
It's my hope.
It's my hope.
I
Oh, hope. Oh, you have a lot of
but
hopes.
no, but I believe that the consumer is step by step is improving the awareness of the value that they are going to buy, what they are going to buy. So my daughter is checking where the pair of jeans or a T-shirt were made, for example. I don't know if it's something common, but the citizens are starting to think about how they are spending their money and in what they are investing. So a little bit less, but with more value, in my opinion.
When I look at the world and the growth of business, I think about China and India as markets. India is a huge denim market, so is China. Is that available to you for their
Yes.
domestic consumption?
India, yes. We already have some very good customer. China is a little bit more difficult.
Copy market, right?
Exactly. But also, I'm speaking about there are 2 completely different mentality, India and China.
Tell me.
Normally, the Chinese company invest on Chinese technologies. India are more open to invest from Europe, for example,
Good
and
technology.
yeah, and buy something with high value.
Now, if you were in charge of the jeans business, what would you want to see change?
If I'm in charge of the global jeans business, uh, I I want to change some worker condition. I want to
In
change.
your factory or elsewhere?
No, outside. But I visited some great factory that are working really well. Some other, for example, I would like to see disappear the people that spray by gun potassium permanganate, just to let you know, Andrew, for example. And so they can do another job. This I would like to see disappear the bullshit regarding sustainability. We cannot wash a pair of jeans with a cup of water. And it's not feasible. So I would like to see disappear the low value of a pair of jeans.
I agree with that. I agree with all of your things.
And I would like to see a great environment inside the laundry for the new generation.
What would that
Uh,
look?
Attractive laundries environment for the new generation where the young people can can start to work inside and create something amazing. This, speaking about laundries, for example.
Yes. Last question. Young people. What is your advice to them for joining this business on any of the levels that exist? What's your advice?
Who want to join this business? So,
Maybe those that don't, but maybe would. What would you suggest?
if you don't like, don't do it. This is very important. You have to love it. So it's an industry with a certain mentality. It's incredible. It's a small community in the end. You have the opportunity to see and to give some new ideas of what the people are going to wear. I would like to suggest to put all your energy to try to be wise and also a little bit crazy sometime. And if you really believe on something, to follow it.
Love it. Alice, you're a fantastic guest. Thank you very much for doing this.
Thanks to you, Andrew. We share a nice conversation.
It's nice. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Bye.